1,300 years, longer than any religion that has a representative saying, this is the Creator's representative ruling this part of the world. You understand? Some, they may have kings, 1 generation, 2 generations, and that's it. Everything falls. But this continued for over 1,000 years, getting bigger and stronger and stronger. If there is no Khalifa, there is no there is no permission to do so many things. But in the old days, they say the Khilafat is necessary. See? For what? To declare Ramazan, to declare Eid, to offer protection, to correct wrong things with power. So many things, correct? Meaning ruling, Islam to rule, to have its own system politically, in every system, education-wise, military-wise, everything. But when that Khalifa, it is removed, that's why you see what so many Muslim countries have so many different dates for Ramazans, different dates for Eids. They cannot come together. You cannot come together. So you're asking, what is the wisdom that it is not allowed to fight now these days? Because Allah has given this time for the Jababirah, and Prophet ﷺ is saying to the believers what you have to do. What is the wisdom of not fighting? Is it something that we have to go through? You cannot fight because you lose. Because you will lose. Islam is not a religion that, okay, we just go, it doesn't matter if we lose, we all die. It's not. That's also going with the ego. Is it an order? Is it an order? Because there's no such thing as a suicide mission in Islam. You understand? In fact, the Prophet ﷺ is saying it is forbidden for you to go to war if you know you're going to lose. If your arms is less than that. If there are so many conditions now. Who sets these conditions? The Khalifa, the system, the Khalifa, the Shaykhul Islam, the whole system there. Now everything is taken out, so everything becomes individual now. And people are declaring, yes, you can fight. They say, no, you cannot. There's so many things now. They cannot come together. There is no head. What is it that the believers are made to go through? Believers. Allah is saying, oh, believers, believe. What is it? Allah is saying, if this world is, say, 7 billion people, 6 out of 7, they're going to be finished in that war. And those who are going to be finished, they're going to be sent to non-existence. This is a big test for the believers. What is the wisdom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showing? Saying this is a time of Dajjal, because this is a time of Dajjal. And Dajjal is going to test everyone. He's going to test those ones in the graves, those ones who are living. He's going to test you with your faith. Are we looking? And these are all, let's say, things that the Prophet says are going to happen, and this is what's going to, and these are the things that you have to do. So now, who is looking? Let's say 2 billion Muslims. Who's looking to see this? And to see what we have to do in this Ahir Zaman? Or the leaders of the Muslims themselves saying there's no such thing. Don't talk about Mahdi, don't talk about Dajjal. Don't talk about Ahir Zaman. Don't you see, new world order, we're just now starting to have a bite out of the big cake. Don't talk about those things. Whereas all the prophecies of the Prophet ﷺ is coming true. So the world, the heads themselves, they have completely been corrupt, and they're corrupting. What are the believers supposed to do? Believers are going to see that this is the second Cahilliyye. This is the second age of ignorance. Are you seeing that this is the second Cahilliyye? No, you're not. It's a wonderful world. Goodbye, Charlie, Shaykh Efendi says. You are seeing, you're understanding the second Cahilliyye. Second age of ignorance, where there's destruction everywhere, and there's poison everywhere. But you don't need to be a Muslim to know this. In fact, there's so many non-Muslims. I just asked a question about global warming. It's one of the things that we've completely destroyed in this world. We destroyed, can you imagine, we destroyed the natural structure of this world that thousands of years they can't even touch. And world has become industrialized in a big scale, let's say past 100 years. We cannot even, with this technology of 100 years, let's say, we cannot even make it to last, this world. We keep eating at each other. So, how are the believers thinking? What are they thinking? What are they being busy with? It is not supposed to, because now the believer must know more and more and more, especially since the Khilafat fell, we put our faith more and more into this material world. Muslims start to put their faith more in this material world, right? What are Muslim nations doing? They're racing to build nuclear arms. Nuclear weapons, to do what? So they're putting their faith in that. They're not putting their faith in the friends of Allah that are able to move those nuclear weapons too. They're not putting their faith in that. So they're losing their faith now. So now, what is going to happen is something that is beyond the technology. Technology is going to fail. So who are those believers? 1 out of 7, only 1 is going to survive. We ask, are we that one? We have to ask, are we that one? If you're loving this world, you're following, you're saying there's nothing wrong, everything is okay, everything that we're destroying, from the air to the water to people to traditions to thousands of years, hundreds of thousands of years, things, they say there's nothing wrong with that, that you're not from that one. You're from the majority who thinks it's okay. Which is why in the Ahir Zaman, labels are not important too. Because there's so many things that we're speaking about, awliya Allah is speaking about, but non-Muslims feel more attracted to it. They say, yes, this is exactly what we were thinking. And there's so many things that we're speaking right now that Muslims, calling themselves Ahlul Sunnah even, they're saying, what is this? Prove to me. Where is it in the Quran? Where is it in the Hadith? Where is this? Becoming more Salafi, more Wahhabi than those ones are. So, we're going through second Cahilliyye. You become strangers. To feel a little bit what the Prophet ﷺ and his companions, they felt in the first Cahilliyye. Are we feeling like that? If you are, it's okay, it's good. If it's not, something is wrong there. Because you don't have to be a saint to understand that we're burning this whole world every single day. Who understood the danger of, let's say, Chernobyl in the 80s? Who understood the danger of that when those nuclear reactors, they just melt down and they're sending a punishment that is from hell. A punishment from hell. It is unseen. Everything it touches, it just melts it away, right away. Nothing can stop it. Who is aware of that? A little bit here and there. And now, say 20 years later, 30 years later, however long it is, who talks about that? Nobody. Maybe one show here and there, but okay, that's it. That is what we know. And that was a very big thing. Happened in Japan too. Very big thing. Recently it happened too. And these are the things that we know. What about the things that we don't know? So we're living in pretty dangerous times. We're living in dangerous times, but we are not having paranoia and fear. You understand? With that. We still go out in the world, but we don't agree with how things are. We pull ourselves back, like the question before. We're being busy with that because we know the protection, how it's going to come, and we know that the power of the saints, how they're going to put that protection on us. If you're fighting against your nafs, you'll be able to fight against these dajjals. If people already think they are saints, big problem. Big problem. Because Dajjal is going to say, I'm going to make everyone a saint. It's going to open so many things, and you're going to see, and your head is going to spin. Hazrat Mahdi alayhi salam is bringing the sunnah of the Prophet alayhi salam. May Allah forgive me and bless you, inshallah. Al-Fatiha.